Diddy was always on her arm. They were traveling all around the world. They were taking private jets. They were doing, just essentially living the high life. But then hearing this graphic testimony, hearing that, after a red carpet premiere that she would have to go and do a freak off, hearing that, on a birthday where she just wanted to hang out with her friends and do karaoke, things like that, because she was in her early 20s to late 20s when this relationship was going on, and it seems like she, from her perspective, just wanted to live like any normal 20-something, where, she would spend time with her boyfriend, she would only be intimate with her boyfriend, but at her boyfriend's direction, which is something that she had talked about throughout the duration of her testimony, that she participated in these freak-offs because that made Diddy happy. That was something that he
he had a good girl.
She essentially wanted to do to please him, and so just
corrupted
through all of that, it is very hard to kind of digest that and unpack it. And as much as people may say, like, if I don't understand how Elizabeth can deal and listen to all of this, I don't understand how Cassie can testify to all of this, because it is so graphic, and I can only imagine how she feels having to do this in the general public, having to talk about doing freak-offs when she had UTIs or when she was on her menstrual cycle or that type of story.
Ew.
It's very, very graphic details that she is laying out while the prosecution is questioning her.
Oh, man.
I'm sure it's just got to be traumatic for her to relive this. I'm wondering, Elizabeth, from your vantage point in the courtroom, how is the jury, if you can get a good look at them? Because I know it's sometimes in these courtrooms, you're trying to look around, it's crowded, you can't always see, and sometimes jurors are very stoic. But are you able to see the jurors and see if they are reacting at all? Is there any facial expression that you can see from them as they're listening to Cassie and as they see that awful hotel video from 2016?
Well, the hotel video the jurors had already seen even as early as Monday, and so that was something that they were very familiar with. As far as reactions, there was no visible reaction from what I could see. I couldn't see anyone necessarily, wiping away tears. For the most part, I saw, some jurors were taking their notes down. Some jurors were, because whenever the exhibits are shown, they're displayed on a screen right in front of them, very much intently analyzing these messages, looking at them, looking at the contents of it. Because in addition to the messages that we saw, even the red carpet photos that we saw, we also saw photos of.
Do we have any barbecue sauce?
That she had called it. It was bruised, it was swollen.
Do we have any barbecue sauce?
We saw her with a cut on her eyebrow that she had to go to a plastic surgeon at Diddy's direction so that way they could get it fixed. You see photos of her with bruises on herself. Some of the photos that we even have in house of Cassie and Diddy